Assalamu alaikum. It's day 10 of Ramadan, and as we leave this first third of the month, by the end of this episode, we seek Allah's mercy. And as we go into the second third of the month, we will ask and beg for His forgiveness, inshallah. Welcome to episode 10 of Iftar Insights Inside Edition.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From Allah we have come, and to Him is our eventual return. This, I've heard it say, is al-haq. This is the truth. This is beyond contestation. This is something that we all have to accept as Muslims and as human beings. Despite this, however, we still have to deal with the emotions and go through the different stages of grief whenever someone should pass away. As we would have heard in all of the episodes so far, the one common denominator that everyone spoke so fondly of as it pertains to Ramadan traditions are the traditions that surround family. And family seems to be, outside of the core worship of the month, the most important aspect of the month. Everything is done with family, and Ramadan has a unique ability to bring families together, maybe when they would not have had the opportunity to do so all throughout the course of the year. So it also makes sense that whenever a family member or a loved one should pass away from one Ramadan into the next, that next Ramadan, this Ramadan for some people, and in particular for today's guest presenter, could be a very, very bittersweet one. Sweet because of the mercies of the month, but bitter because you are reminded, because of the break in family tradition, of the void that has been created by the loss of that loved one. Today, we are going to join with Sister Faeeda Ishmael and the Ishmael family for the 10th episode of Iftar Insights Inside Edition. This is a very unique Ramadan for them, not just because of the quarantine and the national lockdown, but because this year they are without daddy for the very first time. And I know that this is an issue that many can relate to, whether you would have lost your loved one over the last Ramadan to this, or even if you lost your loved one many, many years ago. We especially so tend to remember them and miss them during this time of the year, for Muslims especially.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my humble home. My name is Faeeda. I'm actually from the Charleville area. I attend the Charleville Jamaat Masjid, which is on the Carney Savannah Road. Fasting, yes, Ramadan Mubarak to each and every one of you. Fasting month for us is always a special time. A time that we like to spend with our family, attend the mosque regular, and look forward to being able to share our everyday experiences and our breaking of the fast. I remember years ago, my grandfathers, actually on both sides, were imams. And growing up fasting from a young age, we had to get up very early in the morning. But before we had to actually fast, it was mommy preparing stuff for the next morning. So yes, so from an early age we got up, we kept our fast, but when we were before the age that it is required to, it was fasting half day. So we look forward to that because you get up, you're excited because you think it was only for adults, but no, it was for all of us. We got up, we had to go downstairs. Mommy would be in the kitchen preparing whatever it is. We had to eat in order to keep fast. Going to school, yes, but we're breaking our fast on half day. So every half day, once we keep our fast, we break it. The smell of the food when we're getting ready to break fast was the excitement for us. These are things that we treasured. We were things that we look forward to during the month of Ramadan, because it was a time that everybody got together every time. It was a time actually that we all spent with each other, family, relatives, parents. Growing up, it was always the same. But growing up, when we became, older, it was where we look forward to that month. But we also look forward for Eid, because Eid was a day that was celebrated at my house. So gearing up to that time, it was something that, that we look forward to. My mom and dad was always looking forward to spend whatever time they had to with us. Daddy always wanted everybody to come together, mommy to cook, because that was something that women tend to do all the time. It was more of a woman job to cook, to prepare for you to break fast. So Daddy was always like, get up, keep the fast, but he will always sit with us. It was something that was always done. It was a time that our family were together, sitting, getting ready to have that suhoor in the morning to keep our fast. We were fortunate on growing up that we had parents who loved us unconditionally, and they were always there to provide for us. So mommy and daddy, they did instill the best values, and we had to respect elders. We had to also respect everybody in the community. So it was that respect was something that from a young age that we had. Respect for everybody, respect for elders, and daddy made sure that this happened. Mommy as well, but daddy was a little more tough on us. We were sheltered, yes, very sheltered, and I think up to today it's something that I don't regret at all, because when you get older you realize that when your parents were strict or they said certain things, it was because you appreciate it. You appreciate the things that they did for you. My parents were always family people. Your family comes first, whether it's your children, your parents, your siblings, even with their sisters and brothers. So everything that we did it together as a family. Going to iftars, if not to iftars, we had iftars at home. And I remember every year us having iftar at home where we would include the family and everybody would come together. It was such a big thing for daddy and for mommy. And why I'm saying this is because last year was a very difficult time for us. Last year fasting was actually the last month I was able to spend time with my dad. It was something that he looked forward to. It was coming after every time that I would have broken fast at the mosque, coming home with that food, because I would have never eaten at the mosque. It was to come home to make sure that daddy was okay. I would come home and I would bring that food and we would sit down and we would have that dinner together. And he would wait patiently for when I reach home. Okay, so what did you bring today? What's for dinner today? And we would sit down and we will have that dinner together. Those times and those moments are moments that you'll never forget. In November of last year, my dad actually was diagnosed with stomach cancer. Unfortunately, it was diagnosed in November, and by the 1st of December, my dad had passed away. This year, Ramadan is, as I thought, would have been a trying time for us. But with this whole COVID-19, it brought us more togetherness, because now we're home. We're not at the mosque to break a fast with family or with friends. We're at home to break the fast with our loved ones, with our immediate family, with very little of them. This Ramadan it started off very tough because it was something that I had looked forward to every year, with my dad getting up with us, even if he wasn't fasting at all. It was just the idea of getting up that morning, or the morning with us, to see what we would have prepared to eat, to have for breakfast. That's suhoor. And he would have come in and said, okay, so something is smelling good. What is it? And we will all sit together and we will have that meal. And that time now means more than actually doing it for years now. Getting up every morning is hard. Fasting now, because it's just my mom and I now, and every day is a trying time. My parents would have done anything and everything for us. There was nothing that was hard for them. There was nothing that they wouldn't have done for us. My dad especially, we were always his dolls. And to now have that taken away, you realize what and how much your parents mean to you. Every day doesn't get easier. It actually gets harder, because you realize how much more you miss that parent, especially when you're as close as your parents as we are. And when I say we, my sisters and I, we're very close, and my parents are our life. Daddy is no longer here with us, but we will always have his memories. We'll always have his good memories. And there are days that you still feel his presence, or you still feel that he's around. Nothing can change that. Nothing can change the love that we have for Daddy. And all that he has done for us, the good things, will always remain with us. I mean, Mommy, I don't think she truly realizes then that he's gone. And knowing it is one thing, but feeling it is another. I know life has to go on. We will always treasure whatever it is he would have given us, whatever he would have taught us. And spending Ramadan, actually, it's even harder than I thought, because every day is a trying experience. Everything that you cook reminds you of him, because he loved to eat, and he loved when I cook. And he loved just being there with us and breaking up the fast and doing whatever. So all these things, although it reminds me of him and reminds me of the time that we would have spent together, it's actually a good thing that we had that time, those years. And every day I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us him for so long. Breaking fast in Ishmael's house is very simple and very easy. We use basic things. We try to just not overeat as much as you're hungry. We try not to. We spend time, and actually my mom spends time just before the breaking of the fast in reading a Quran. I do that as well sometimes. And just reciting a couple duas and listening to probably the TV or radio station with the Islamic programs before that. So we don't just sit down and break fast. We listen to these things maybe in half an hour before, to prepare ourselves in doing so. To the Muslim community, I want to wish you Ramadan Mubarak, to each and every one of you. I know with this time, this is a trying time for all of us. But this time brings us closer together, not just with our family, but to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it gives us the strength to move on to be there for one another and to always help each other in this time. Assalamu alaikum.
Having lost my own father in 2017, I can not only understand what Faeeda and her family are experiencing, but I'm also able to empathize with them, as I'm sure you would be able to, knowing fully well that none of us would have been spared from the effects of death, whether to someone in our immediate family or our extended home circle as well. We can, however, take heart and comfort in knowing that Islam offers us so many avenues by which we can continue to pray for them and for their well-being in the hereafter. One of the best times that a Muslim can make dua is within this month of Ramadan, and especially so in the few and final minutes leading up to the break of fast. Additionally, we can all throughout the course of the year offer acts of charity and or sadaqatul jariyah, etc. on their behalf, but especially so during this month when the rewards can be multiplied. So whatever we do during this month, we can do and seek our own interest, but we can also utilize this month as well to send forth other acts of charity, du'as, and anything else, any other act of goodness for our loved ones who have passed on, and especially for parents. A reminder that the best person to ever offer dua on their behalf is the children that they have left behind. If your parents are no more, I urge you to utilize this month wisely and ask Almighty Allah to forgive them. Rabbir hamhuma kama rabbayani sagira. O Allah, look after them the way that they did look after me when I was a child. We now join on a much lighter note with Sister Faeeda and her family for the breaking of the fast. We will be treated to something that is, as she said, they try to keep things simple. So we'll be treated to whatever they have to offer today, and we'll be joining with them for the iftar, inshallah.
So it's time to break fast. Mommy and I have this homemade chicken pie with a date. Homemade chicken pie with a date. So we have that first, and we'll be having a glass of juice. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum. So we're now ready to break. We're finished breaking our fast, and this is our dinner. Today's dinner, actually, thank you, Auntie Faeeda, because we have here, Auntie Faeeda, my aunt made pachoni, as you all call it, or tripe curried. I have a side of mango and some basapshat she made. My cousin next door, thank you Fuzz and Ria, we have some noodles. And this is my mom's plate. My mom wanted some more rice, so she's having rice. She's having some spinach. Is it pak choy, mommy? So that's pak choy, some mango. She's having some pachoni as well. We have some watermelon for dessert. Watermelon. Mommy and I like to have dinner restaurant style. We call it our little time together. So this is our dinner. Alhamdulillah, and enjoy your meal, guys. I would also like to take this time to say Ramadan Mubarak. I know from my mom, mommy wants to wish the Muslim community Ramadan Mubarak. From my sisters, Zaida and Sharana, from their husbands, my brother-in-laws, Imran and Riyadh. From my three lovely nieces, Zia, Samaya, and Sophia. To each and every one of you, Ramadan Mubarak. And may the peace and blessings of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be with each and every one of you.
I've never seen anyone have pachoni for dinner during Ramadan.
No. I've never seen it either. It's usually reserved for like special occasions and that sort of stuff. And if you don't know what pachoni is, you need to Google that, or you need to get in touch with Faeeda on her Food Police Facebook group and ask her about it. Ask her for a sample, or at the very least for a recipe. All right, but
Yeah.
it's let's just say it's not everybody's taste, to say the least.
It's supposed to be a delicacy, and every family has their own tradition, you know?
Yes, and speaking of traditions, my in-laws' house is not short of traditions. This one is fried plantain chips, and my mother-in-law maintains the Guyanese tradition of ensuring that she always has these in her house. She was able to send these up for us a couple days ago with your brother, with Adil. And so just want to say thank you very much, Mom, for sending us these nice crispy these nice crispy plantain chips. Today, thankfully, we're able to wash them down as well with some
pine juice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, not pine juice, pine drink actually, because it's the skin that was peeled from the pine, so nothing is wasted, and it's boiled with some spice and some cloves, and it's just drawn, and then you drink it just like that, no sugar added. It's supposed to be great for worms, so you know, I guess most people were wishing if back in the day they knew that they wouldn't have to be drinking Senny and salt. You know?
I hope that didn't take you too far or too unpleasantly so down memory lane. Nonetheless, though, we've come to the end of today's episode. As you can tell, we're just enjoying a bit of a lighter moment with you, and just hoping that you're appreciating the work that has been going into the presentations and productions of Iftar Insights. I would like to give a special thank you to Rohan, who is a one-man team this year down at Impression Studio TT. His brother Tim, who would normally be with him and assist in the process, is unable to be a part of the series this year, spending time abroad and still being abroad. So Rohan is a one-man show this year that's handling all of the production work and that sort of stuff behind the scenes. So just want to say special hi, Ramadan Mubarak, and salams to Rohan and the crew out at Impressions. Yeah.
Yes. So we just want to remind you to join us for tomorrow for episode 11. Thank you very much for looking at episode 10 with us today. And we will see you tomorrow, inshallah, for another edition of Iftar Insights Inside Edition.
Inshallah. Until then, Assalamu alaikum.
Mm-hmm.